Hi everyone, good morning to you all. Welcome back to science class. In the last session, already we are discussed about the microorganisms, the front and foe. So, once I will recall some points. So, microorganisms means very tiny organisms, means the organisms which are cannot be seen our naked eyes and only we can through see the microscope. So, we call it as they are microscopic organisms. And I said about there are four major groups of microorganisms. They are especially protozoa, algae and bacteria, and one more is fungi. The major groups of organisms, right? Viruses. What is the viruses and how it affects on our day-to-day life? Mainly, viruses or virus also a one of the microscopic organism, but it is special from the microorganisms. Why? Why the virus is separate or special from the such microorganisms like protozoa, fungi, algae and bacteria, right? So here mainly viruses are the microscopic organism. However, they reproduce inside the host cell, only inside the cells of the host organisms. Here host means what? It's the cells are the material that supports for growing. That is called as a host, or the substance or the material which allows to grow. That is called as host. So actually the viruses reproduce, okay, only inside the cells of the host organism. Even bacteria, plant, animals, even in the human body also. So they start to growing, they start to reproduce inside the body of an organism. Nowadays, since from 8 months we are suffering lot about COVID-19. Even COVID-19 also spread from the virus only. So like here the common alignments of the viruses means common problems arise from the viruses. They are like cold, cough, influenza and most coughs caused by the viruses. Other than these main problem, some are there here, that is there diseases like polio as well as the chicken pox. The polio and chicken pox also a very serious disease. They also caused by the viruses. So this is the main information about the viruses. And some diseases like dysentery as well as that one more is malaria. Dysentery and malaria mainly caused by the protozoa, not by a virus. Okay, and one more is typhoid and TB, tuberculosis. These are caused by the bacteria, right? So here the viruses, bacteria, protozoa, these are all also a in one way very dangerous to human health, very dangerous to our life, but some are beneficial. That point we are discussing the next classes, right? Now one more important point, where do microorganisms live? Where? Which area? Almost all microorganisms, as you knew already, we cannot see in our unaided eye or naked eyes. So, almost all, in all the places and all the environment, the microorganisms are exist. But one thing, some microorganisms are having only single cell. We call them as a unicellular organism, and some organisms having more than one cell, more than two cells, they are called as a multicellular organism. Unicellular and multicellular. So almost all unicellular and multicellular organisms are exist almost all the environment, but especially it ranging from the ice cold region to hot springs. ice cold region. We call it the ice cold region means what? Completely there is a 0 degree Celsius. Temperature is falls at 0 degree Celsius. No one organism can live in that temperature. But also these microorganisms can exist at 0 degree Celsius from ice cold region to hot springs, and also deserts to marshy lands, in wetlands also, and in desert. Desert means what? Low watery grounds. So in this condition also the microorganisms are exist and available for creating some problems to the human health and human life. That is why the microorganisms are found everywhere in our nature. Dear students, now microorganisms are and us. Microorganisms and us. When we are compared to the microorganisms and us, what speciality will be there or what similarities are there? Almost all, both microorganisms and the human being are the living organisms, but the microorganisms are useful in many ways, means beneficial for us, beneficial in many ways, and some are harmful to our life and cause some diseases. So about this microorganisms and us. And one more next important concept is friendly microorganisms, means how microorganisms can play a very important role in our life. Especially microorganisms are used in the preparation of especially bread, curd, and also cake, means especially in the bakery items. And especially the microorganisms are very useful to clean up the environment. Clean up the environment, it means almost all the wastage like vegetables, fruits, plant residues, dead animals. So all these dead and decaying substances completely decompose and turn into other substances and mix with the soil. It is done by the nothing but bacteria or the some microorganisms, right? And one more, bacteria is also using in the preparation of the medicines. In many medicines are manufactured or prepared by the use of bacteria. At last, in agriculture, it's a main use of bacteria is in agriculture. Why? In agriculture, mainly the bacteria is used to increase the soil fertility, to fixing the nitrogen, because nitrogen is very essential component for the plants to the for their well growth. So in this way, the microorganisms are very beneficial or very useful in our day-to-day life.